Welcome back, everybody, to Gorillawire.com. Today, I interviewed a special guest. He's called the Phantom Lion. He's a real-life superhero / crime fighter. Let's take a look and see how that interview went down. Go.
With Gorillawire TV, it's people sharing their thoughts, their insight, their opinions, and their voice. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Gorillawire.com. We're here with the Phantom Lion.
It's good to be here in the Big Apple. I've been taking a bite out of your city for about a good 3 hours now, and it's felt good. You know, you guys are really pissed off people. I mean,
the people in New York you're talking about? Manhattan?
Yeah.
Manhattan?
I tell a lady she has a nice jacket, she turns right around.
And what, she gives you like the
evil
eye or something?
Yeah, that stinky evil eye.
Now, Phantom Lion, how long have you been around patrolling the streets of where you're from?
Well, I've been around with this face in particular. I used to do it about once a week. But lately it's been cold, so I mean, and with my YouTube channel, it's been very challenging to split the time. Like I have these YouTube projects, I have a lot of projects I want to do as the Phantom Lion on camera, and it's very hard to arrange my time. And I didn't always be a superhero with this mask in particular. I always was the type of person to look out for people. You know, whenever I'm walking around, you know, with or without it, I'm going to help someone. I'm a very charitable person in general, or at least I try to be. But I feel that it's time to consider the fact that I'm more or less babysitting, because if there wouldn't be as much violence if people would simply learn from their mistakes instead of repeating them. But that's just me.
Now, Phantom Lion, do you consider yourself like a real life like superhero or crime fighter?
You know, there are a lot of people that would like to make that claim, and I think it would be very lame of me to just, you know, I'm a superhero, real life, you're a crime. I'm an educator first. I try and teach people first. I will only intervene when it is absolutely necessary, and I think deep down inside, you know, real life superheroes feel the same way. They want to try and educate people about ways of doing things, ways of solving problems without violence. I think even fictional characters hold true to these morals. I know Superman does, The Flash, Green Lantern. I can't speak for the Batman, however. It's a pretty violent guy. Well, hell, he didn't have any superpowers, so he kind of has to be. So, which it's interesting that you asked that, because when I saw the real life superheroes come to fruition after, especially after 9/11, it became very popular. When I saw that kind of rise up on the internet, even, I saw all these videos about these superheroes saying, hey, you know, I'm this superhero, I fight for justice and cool, and hey, I fight for this super, you know, I saw so many of these videos, and at first it was really cool, but I noticed that a lot of people were doing it, and I asked myself, well, where's the element of surprise in that? You know, if you want to stop criminals, don't not everybody stand up at once and announce that you're there watching. Sometimes a little mystery is healthy, and I'm not saying that none of them should be on YouTube, just not every single one. I'm more of one of the more subtle people that wears a mask on the internet. It's interesting. It's an interesting question because you have to look at it from the fantasy aspect, because that's where superheroes were born. They were born in fantasy. So you have to ask yourself, how would Superman reply? Do you consider yourself to be a superhero? I mean, I don't think Superman would consider himself to be a superhero. I don't think the Green Lantern would tell you that he is a superhero. They are people just like us that believe in an ideal. So...
Now you've been doing this for a few years now. Like, how much longer do you see yourself doing this, being the Phantom Lion?
Oh, being the Phantom Lion. I'm always going to be the Phantom Lion until I officially die.
Do you mean physically or metaphorically
Well,
when you say die?
Both. So... I want it, but you see, I want it to come to the point where I can actually literally duplicate this mask and send it to people. And if I can get enough people to wear this mask on the internet and make videos, it'll be like V for Vendetta. The Phantom Lion won't be a man anymore. Alright, I feel that I've come to the point where I'm an ideal, not just a man. The Phantom Lion isn't about being heroic. It's about being something more. So,
Now, how did you come up with the Phantom Lion? How did you come up with that name exactly? Why the Phantom Lion out of any name you could have picked? Any particular reason?
Well, when the character's origins is actually stems from me watching a hell of a lot of movies and comic books, and the inspiration just crept into my brain. But if you really want to know the intimate details, I died once. Like, quite literally died. I was flatlined for officially 5 minutes and 23 seconds. There was an accident when I was very young, and I remember very vivid images about, in between when I died and then I was revived. I can't exactly describe them, and I wouldn't expect myself to. But after that, I started having these dreams of walking on the savannah, a place that I've never been to. And I started having dreams of looking in the mirror, waking up in my own home, normally, something that you would know, or you would feel like it was real. You would feel the reality of the dream, and you would mistake it for reality itself. And I go to take a shower, and when I get out and I wipe the fog from the mirror, I don't see myself. I see this kind of anthropomorphic lion staring back at me. It kind of reminds me from the scene from the Hulk movie, not the Incredible Hulk, the first Hulk that didn't do so well in theaters. I like that scene a lot because it says a lot about Bruce Banner. I think it says a lot about human nature, in general. We are beasts, period. The only question is, are we going to control that beast, or are we going to let that beast control us? And instead of letting it control me or trying to control it, I took a larger approach, as you can see. I embraced it. And through the years, I started drawing the character, and it's evolved into what you see now.
So you saw a line in your dream, and that's how you brought this persona out?
Yes. The dream felt so real. He even smashed right through the mirror and began to choke me to death, and that's when I began waking up with my own hands around my throat and gasping for air. And I almost didn't take a shower that morning because of the dream, because I thought it was real. It scared the crap out of me.
Now, do you go outside wearing this mask, or is this like a indoor type of thing with the mask?
Every now and then I find remote places where I can wear the mask, where the area is very isolated. I go, and then I might shoot a video, and then with the mask.
You find remote places to wear the mask, you were saying?
Yes, I find these remote places to wear the mask, and then I record. So, yeah, that's it. It's a little challenging finding places, but I manage.
Now, like why exactly do you wear the mask? Is it to hide your identity? You don't want anyone knowing who you are exactly? Is it because of...
Well, that's a given. There are way too many morons on the internet as it is. I don't need somebody recognizing me in public, and although it would be flattering, I honestly do not believe that my face is relevant to what I'm talking about. I am merely wearing my true self on the outside. So.
And what does the Phantom Lion stand for exactly?
It's not exactly what I stand for, Axel. It's what I stand against that makes me who and what I am.
And what do you stand against exactly?
I stand against stupidity. I stand against corrupt governments. I stand against people who in the beginning they want to fight for an ideal, but in the end they become exactly what they were fighting against in the first place.
So are you like a political activist or something like that? Or?
Oh no. Could you picture this face in a suit?
Kind of. I don't know. I mean, so what do you talk about on your YouTube channels exactly that you might be afraid of people seeing you how you look like? Is it something political?
No, it's something more. And I'm not religious, but it's something philosophical. It's something spiritual, not in the literal sense, but it's something that I feel I need to do. Picture this. The world is coming to an end, and you know it for sure. Would you want to tell your story, try and have people realize the truth before it's over? Or would you rather sit back and wait for the end to come? Would you rather do nothing? I would rather have people see me for who I am and try and teach them about who they could be. And I'm not saying that you have to be like me. Just realize that there are some things in this world, a lot of things in this world, that we don't need to survive.
I mean, do you believe that the end of the world is coming? Is that when?
Of course, it's not a question of whether I believe. It's a question of how long it's going to take until it happens. And just because, and you know, I should rephrase that. When the end of the world comes, more than likely, it's just going to be the end of us. It's just going to be the end of the human race. It's not going to be the end of the world. The world will go on without us. That is a fact, whether I believe it or not.
Let's say you have like 100 people wearing your mask. What would you expect to accomplish from that? Like, if once when they start wearing your mask, do you want them to start thinking like the way you do? Is that the ultimate? What is the ultimate goal, basically?
Well, the ultimate goal is to establish sort of a planet phantom lion, if you will. Yeah, to have a group of people realize that they don't need technology to survive. They don't need society to survive. They don't need a car. They don't need their iPods. They don't need their khakis. They don't need green pieces of paper to obtain food. The reason why I do this is because society has taken away mankind's natural right to live. Okay, homelessness wouldn't be a problem if every man, woman, and child were raised from birth to learn simple survival techniques to take care of themselves. We wouldn't have all of these problems if we were raised with just the bare essentials of surviving on one's own. So what I would like is for a group of people realizing this to then wear my face and then march proudly, unattached to anything. That's another thing I'm getting sick of. Attachments. We are attached to everything. We're attached to bank cards, checks, the mortgage on our homes, our bank statements. Everything's got a label on it now. That's why I stopped wearing underwear.
So is that what you want to do? You want to teach them how to become unattached to what material items?
Yes, exactly. I want to teach them. I want them to teach themselves to unlearn what they have learned and to try and let go of everything that they fear to lose.
And what you would also teach them what survival techniques, how to survive when in the wild or something? Is that what you're?
I'm going to be very honest with you. You know, I barely know how to start a fire. However, I am a very decent archer, but that is the extent of my survival skills. I'm quite the victim to this myself, so I've recently scouted YouTube for channels that teach survival techniques, and I've been reading up on it recently. I only wish to begin to apply these techniques and see if I can actually support myself without anything advanced whatsoever.
What, just like live off the grid, you mean? Is that what you're referring to?
Live off of nature as nature intended for us to live.
Do you work at a job? Do you have a job that you go to every day?
Oh, of course.
Is it?
I work in the industry of, I work in the industry.
The entertainment industry, or?
This industry covers the responsibility of making sure that everyone has their food in their stores.
Fair enough. When you created the Phantom Lion, like when you started wearing the mask, how long, at what age were you when you started wearing the Phantom mask? The Phantom Line mask?
Well, technically, one personality left the body, and in came a new one, one that I began to call myself the Phantom Lion, but I officially got my face when I was 20, and when I first put it on, it was surreal. It was great. But I didn't feel complete. I had to add some things, as you can see, like gloves and jacket.
Now, is that your actual hair, or is that artificial hair?
It's my real hair.
Do you like go out and patrol the streets late at night, or?
Not lately. No, I haven't done that in months. I haven't done that in months. Mostly because I've been busy on YouTube, and I feel very uninspired to do it. It's sometimes I would just like for people to solve their own problems, and you can't do that. It feels as though that it feels more or less like babysitting now that I realize that we will never stop being at war with each other. Not in the literal sense like the war in Iraq, but just in general. It's like we were made to destroy ourselves, which is very weird because we're overpopulated, so we're not even doing a good job of that.
You had a design of a new mask that you wanted to show us, that you wanted to make or something?
Oh yes, I have a design of a new mask, and I am looking for a mask maker to make this mask a reality. I'm still debating on whether I want fur on the outside, but however it looks really doesn't matter as long as it has the full skull, the tribal skull design that I made myself.
Your identity is secret. You're very good at it, because even when I came to see you, you were covered up. You had a gray scarf covering your face, and that fedora hat on, and just sort of the slit of your eyes, basically. I have no idea how you look like. So when you go to work every day, does anyone at your job have any idea what you do? Personally?
No, not a clue.
So I'm sure that is there anyone who knows your secret identity?
Only people that I trust. I won't say any more than that, but there are people that I trust with it. Superman has his adopted parents that know. Batman has Alfred. He has Lucius Fox that knows. He's got Robin, Dick Grayson. I'm sure every superhero, or hero rather, has someone, or anyone who masks their identity, have people that they can trust. So, I mean, it's not that I don't completely trust anyone. It's just that I don't trust the world. I trust people, like certain people, but in general, human beings are, behave in very trivial fashions. it's very hard to figure out if somebody is out to get you. Yes, even if you've known them a long time. So it's like the saying goes, keep your enemies close and your friends closer. I can trust someone if they're my enemy. I can trust people who absolutely have hate, they despise me. I can trust that because that's how they are. That's how they're never going to change that point of view unless I do something to change their mind. But friends, at any time, as soon as they find something that they don't like about you, they can turn against you. So although I do have friends, these are people that I've known for quite some time.
So there's a select few that people that do know who your secret, they know your secret identity, basically.
Yes.
Now, you also tell me that earlier before we started the show that you were thinking about doing a comic book version of the Phantom Lion.
That would make me jump out of my boots if I were to actually have somebody either call me up or send me an email saying, "Hey, I'm interested in your character. I like your artwork. Let's put together some sort of a short story. Like a pitch or something like that." It would make me ecstatic if I could do it. And there is a storyline. There is a storyline that follows the character, but I knew that as soon as I started making YouTube videos with my face on, that I would probably have to alter the character, and so I created a new version of the character in a separate universe to where, he has similar powers, but he's not 8-9 feet tall. Lion with a tail, but he does in the alternate universe, the one that pretty much looks like this, like what I am now. He has similar powers, but if I wanted to actually get a comic published, it would be the original version of the character.
What keeps the Phantom Lion awake at night? Is there something that you're afraid of? Anything at all?
Well, you see, that's the problem. I've managed to purge myself of almost all of everything that I fear. I still have the instinctual fear, mind you, don't walk out into the middle of a street of traffic, basic survival instincts. I haven't gotten rid of that. That kind of fear, but as far as fearing, well, let's see, what do people generally fear? I don't fear the loss of life, things like that. It took me for a while to shed my fear of death and stuff like that, but I don't fear dying. I don't welcome it. Obviously, I've got stuff to do, but I don't fear death. I don't fear getting hurt.
When you're wearing your mask, how exactly do you eat? I mean, especially when you're with someone.
When I'm with someone, let me show you here. Here goes. This is actually a first. My first attempt to eat on camera. I've eaten with the mask, but on camera, no. So, here goes. Drum roll, please.
Wow, that's impressive. Now we're talking. Now, what about in regards to, do you have any romantic interests currently? I mean, do you have a girlfriend? Have you had a girlfriend? And if you had a girlfriend, does she know what you do?
I've actually had one girlfriend or one lover or whatever you want to call it actually accept this, and she was even willing to join me at one point. You know, we had a real Aesop's fable thing going on with and her identity was going to be like a mouse.
Nice.
So, but I don't know. I haven't really. I guess you could say that I'm taking a break from that relationship. I don't want to use any of these cliche terms like break up or cut off. You know, you're never officially done with someone until you're done with them, or the fat lady sings.
When you start dating a new girl, would you tell her right away? Probably not, right? You probably wait further along, right?
That's a good question.
Or would you ever tell her? Or would you just keep leaving those two separate lives?
That's the thing. At this point, I don't think that I'll find another person who is understanding of who I am. You know, Phantom Lion or not, I'm not willing to give up who I am or my personal beliefs just for a relationship. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that.
Do you have any martial arts experience?
Well, as you've seen last night on my latest YouTube upload, I was knifed by an individual of whom I am familiar with from my school days, and well, I can hold my own. I began my martial arts training officially when I was 6 or 7 years old. This is a completely another life, and a life that I'm beginning to even lose memories of. But I have images and I have subtle details. I remember he was watching a Bruce Lee movie. It was Enter the Dragon. He was watching Enter the Dragon, and he started mimicking those moves. And then after Enter the Dragon became, then came Power Rangers, which is, in retrospect, is a very poorly acted show, but the martial arts was decent. And then so many more martial arts films came after that, and eventually he began formal training, and now I still study what he used to study, and what he used to study is Chinese Kempo, and I train in Chinese Kempo, and lately I've been getting into Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun.
When you say he used to study, you're referring to Bruce Lee?
I mean, when I say he used to study the style, I meant myself, but I wouldn't consider the 7-year-old version of me to be the same man because of how different I behave now. So, I mean, it's there was a point in my life where it's just I completely escaped the shell, if you will, and some people would say that I went crazy, lost my mind, but no, I just wake up, you know, I tell me, it's like when I died, is it possible that you could be reincarnated as another person? I'm not sure. I don't know what the hell happened in those 5 minutes of death that I experienced, but I know this. When I woke up, I was not the same man. I had memories. I felt things. I remembered things that I didn't necessarily feel that was a part of me. And it was the strangest feeling in the world. Now it's but a truth.
Do you feel like maybe in your former life you might have been? I mean, if you believe in former life, do you believe you might have once been a lion?
If I believed in former lives, then it would make sense. It would make a lot of sense. And even in my former life, I was if one could have the choice, then yes, I would definitely. I mean, I hope so. You know, if I were to be reincarnated at the end of this particular road, if reincarnation is real, I would definitely like to be a lion and experience it. But the dreams are. I still have the dreams till this day of running along the savannah. The reoccurring dream.
Have you ever thought about like having like a pet lion or something like that? Like
Oh no! No. I'm not that. I'm not that crazy. But and besides, this term, pet, lions are not pets. They are proud predators. All right, they are very much like ninjas. They are, because they do most of their hunting at night. So a pet lion, no, but I would very much like to see a lion up close and perhaps even touch it, maybe pet it if it allows me to. I hear there are lots of people who have had encounters with lions to where the lion doesn't bite their arm off, and they might interact with the lion in a supervised type of setting. I would very much like that experience, but to actually have a pet lion, because I don't think that these animals should be tamed at all, and I am very much a symbol of that truth, a symbol of the untamed lion. I do what I want to do when I feel like it, and that is the very nature of being untamed. So I very much symbolize the untamed part, for the fact that I just be myself, you know.
No, I mean, do you feel people might think that you're crazy because you're wearing a mask? Should you be diagnosed?
Technically, I've been diagnosed before, but I took upon myself to solve my own problem, and I solved that problem through lucid dreaming. Now, I still have dreams to where I can't necessarily control them, but lucid dreaming, it's like meditation. The same principle is involved. You put yourself in a deep, deep sleep, but you do it intentionally, and while you're asleep, you dream whatever you want to dream. You can create your own world while dreaming and interact with it, and still have the memories after you wake up of that dream. And it's lucid dreaming, controlling your environment. You know, you're the god of your own universe. It's a fantastic experience. I've only begun to actually learn it, to be quite honest, but or begin to master it, I should say. But when I was diagnosed, I took it upon myself to learn about who I really was, and through means of lucid dreaming.
Now, when you say lucid dreaming, what do you mean? Like, is that like a deep dream state?
I mean, actually, literally being able to control your dreams. And the dream feels as real as I am sitting in front of you right now and waving my hand about and, you know, grasping this sandwich you can do all of that. You have complete control in your dreams.
And you master this?
Not yet. Not yet. It works best when you're not completely tired, I notice, but lately I haven't had the time to lucid dream or even had the inspiration. But I feel that lucid dreaming is a lot like art. You know, you have to record it somehow. You have to capture that moment. So quite often when I lucid dream, I just want to make a record of it in some way, you know, but I don't really have the time, so I try and stay away from lucid dreaming because of my lack of time to maybe make a drawing based off of it or write it down or something like that. It's I don't want to lose my lucid dream, so I'm kind of shying away from it because I see it as another aspect or another genre of art. I see it as an art form. So, and an artist always wants to remember an inspiration for a painting. So he either, all right, I'm gonna draw this later. He maybe writes it down, or I want to make a record of, you know, drawing this, and I want to draw this thing. So, but I don't want to forget it. So, any sort of talk of lucid dreaming amongst my friends, I shy right the fuck away from because of it's art to me.
What is the Phantom Lion's hobby? Does the Phantom Lion have a hobby? Like, does he like to go swimming? Does he like tennis? Hockey? You know, what does the Phantom Lion do for recreational purposes?
Well, I like free running. It suits my lifestyle. Free running and parkour. For those of you who don't know what that is, free running is running as fast as you can and vaulting over things. It's best done in a city environment. Parkour, you know, you climb on top of things and you jump rooftop to rooftop and you do a lot of climbing around. It's, I don't know if it's considered a sport, but you have to be a professional, and I'm not a professional, but before you might partake in parkour or free running, try and choose the best environment to do so, because if you're running around the city, jumping over things and hopping over fences, somebody's going to think that you probably robbed somebody. So if you're going to free run, notify your local police department and let them know that you're into free running and that you're just running around for exercise and stuff like that. And most of the people that I know that do free running do that on a regular basis. Their first stop is the police station to let them know, and because, you know, things can happen. You could get hurt free running, so it just make sure that you have all your bases covered, and you might want to wear padding as well if it's your first time free running or doing parkour.
Have you ever let anyone wear your mask before other than yourself?
Yeah, I have. It's amongst the people that I trust.
Do you feel vulnerable when you don't have the mask on?
No, I quite the opposite. I feel that I'm in disguise. I am blending in with the rest of the world and how it wants me to look and act, and you know, I even have very different voices that I use when I'm not being myself. And
could you give us one of those voices?
well, sure. I put on my fedora and I get a suit and I talk just like this. It's very 50s, 40s, 50s kind of accent, very kind of cheesy accent, but I walk around like this and I speak to people and I do my thing. You know, I do whatever I have to do to try and keep the two personalities completely separate.
Now, where can people find the Phantom Line exactly?
Where can people find the Phantom Line? You won't have to. I'll find you.
Do you have a website that you could plug?
Yeah, actually, you know what? You can actually go to the mayor's office, and he has a signal on top of the building. It's in the shape of a giant cat.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just joking. But I do have a YouTube channel, The Phantom Lion, because putting the in front of your name automatically makes you more important. I have my Shadows of Justice channel, which is The Shadows of Justice. And those are my two channels that you can mainly see me on. And yeah, you can find me definitely on YouTube. I'm on DeviantArt as well. That's where I post most of my artwork there.
Well, I like to thank you, Phantom Lion, for coming down here to Gorillawire. Thank you so much. And until next time, everybody.